All right, y'all, welcome back. It's Albert LaBelle. We got a unique U-lock here, and it is pretty cool. So yeah, it is made by, or at least sold by, Serfas S-C-R-F-A-S. It looks like U-lock UL-203HD. I don't need all that. This slides right off. But yeah, we'll get to the very unique part in a minute. So 203 millimeter shackle length. As you can see, it's a beast. I mean, I got pretty big hands, and you can see the thickness of that shackle. Now remember, whenever I have the opportunity, or whenever I can, I always leave the specs of the lock, my specs, not what they claim. I measure and weigh everything myself and leave it at the end of the video. So be sure to check that out, because this thing is a heavy beast. So they say 16 millimeter heavy duty shackle. I'm sure that's including the rubber coating, but it is huge. Yeah, rubber coated shackle here. They give it an 8 out of 10. And the back side, how to unlock, how to lock. But down here it says that company there, Serfas or Serfas. They sell all kinds of stuff. Pumps, tools, tires, saddles, just a whole bunch of, I guess, everything. So yeah, why is it so unique, Al? Well, let me show you. This is a tubular type lock, okay? And it's got this little shutter thing. It looks like it kind of fell. I got it at my local bike shop. But yeah, tubular type lock, right? 7-pin. That's actually an 8-pin. What? That's right. So we've all seen keys like, let me grab a standard. So we've all seen tubular lock keys like this, right? Nothing too special about it. Well, for this lock, this is the key. Not only is that the diameter much smaller, okay? Hopefully you can see that there. The diameter is much smaller. You see that? And it's got that pin right there, that little finger, if you will, that protrudes out past the end of the key itself. You see that thing? Well, I was sitting there, I wasn't paying too much attention to the key, sitting there picking it, and I couldn't pick it to save my life. I decided to look at the key, and there it was. That funny looking thing right there. I noticed, I said, oh my God. So yeah, there's an extra pin that has to be depressed, and then you can pick the 7 pins. Now, lucky for me, the lock is very easy to pick. Well, the standard pins are very easy. They just kind of set real easy. So once you push that little dude in, put some heavy tension on, it picks pretty easy. But another thing I got to point out, you see how deep set that thing is? It's way in there. So normally on tubular locks, if I'm going to see, being the diameter is so small, none of my tubular lock picks fit. I don't have one that small. So I figured single pin picking. So I would use something like this. This is the Sparrow's, I think it's called a Mantis, if I remember right. You might have seen these, okay? It's a tension tool for tubular locks, but it doesn't reach far enough in. The lock is too deep set. So I busted out some feeler gauge and just copied that profile and made my own. So you can see what I did. I had to make it for a smaller diameter. That's why it's more narrow this way, right? And I had to make it longer. Not real pretty. I just used feeler gauge and bent it over, but it does the job. Let me show you that profile again. All I did was make it smaller and longer, but it works. So another tension tool in my book. Don't know if it'll end up on Sparrows anytime soon, but the other one did. All right, so I'm going to put this big old heavy thing in this vise right here and clamp her down and show you how we go about this. So what I had to do was, like I said, make this custom tension tool. Let's go like that. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the tension tool in, just like you would use the Mantis. Same idea, it's just a longer one. Alright, rotational tension on that center pole. Then I'm going to take this, it's basically just a large or a long pin, and I'm going to push that 8th pin I was pointing out. I'm going to push that in first. right there. And hopefully that stays put. It has before, and hopefully it will again. Like I said, once I got all that figured out and made the custom tension tool, figured out that 8th pin, the rest of the pins set fairly easy. They're just standard pins, so they just set. Alright, and I'll be using another thin tension tool to push those pins in. Alright, a couple on this side of the tension tool I got to get out of the way. That one right there, got a little tiny click out of that, but I remember this one, the second one, it doesn't really give me a whole lot. Alright, so moving on to the other side of the tension tool. I do have to use a lot of tension on this, by the way. But the piece of feeler gauge that I use to make the tension tool is fairly thin, so it bends a little bit. It looks like I'm using more tension than I really am. Alright, let's go around this side and work these pins. Hardest part's working around the camera. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, come back around. Sometimes you got to work these pins once or twice. Boom, boom. Alright, got a little bit out of that one. Come on, baby. You know we want to open. That felt good. Did we get it? No, I don't think so. Not yet. Let's work these pins a little more. Oh, that felt real good. I thought we had it that time. Be right up here. That one's solid. And one over here. Did we get it? No, we didn't. Woof. Right up here. That one's solid. One more on this side, right there. Hope I didn't just overset that. I can't see around the camera. Come on, baby. You know you want to open. Oh, come on. Right there. That was not it. Not it. Well, I thought it was easy. I don't think we got it, did we? No, we didn't. Oh, there it is. We got it. We got it. Woo! Just like that. So I'll tell you what, I put up a little bit of a fight still, but I had to work the pins 2 or 3 times, as you can see. But I'll tell you what, you run into a jam like that and you don't have the tools to do it, just make your own and you pick the lock. I was flabbergasted when I finally figured out that 8th pin was there. But yeah, never seen anything like that before. And honestly, don't want to see it again. That and the odd diameter. So like I said, none of my tubular lock picks fit. None of them. And I've got a, 3 or 4 different sets. I don't have one that small. So there you go. That is the, whatever it was, Serfas U-lock UL-203HD. But yeah, I'll leave all the specs for the size of this beast at the end of this video. You ought to check it out. Alright, thank you all so much for tuning in. I highly appreciate it. Remember, if you're not subscribed yet, you need to do so because all the cool people are doing it, and you don't want to be left out. Thank you.